Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to IBM TV's discussion on the Olympics. I'm Nick Palavita, and with Ada, we're going to give you an update and a discussion of what's going on in Tokyo. So, Ada, apparently you have some really exciting information
Yeah.
that's news to me, but maybe not to a lot of our viewers, but certainly was news to me on what's going on in the Olympics. So, bring us up to date. What's going on?
Of course. Well, the top stories right now are that Olympic champion Simone Biles has pulled out of the team finals and will not be competing with the USA team when it comes to floor events and team events. But it is predicted that she will be participating in the individual events, so we still will see her in action. It is said by her trainer that she's suffering from a medical issue that is still yet to be dealt out to be dealt out if she would even participate in the individuals as well. So we will wait and see. There wasn't any explicit injuries displayed on the floor, but as athlete, you never know what happens in the background. But we hope that she makes a speedy recovery and that we can see her in the individuals. Also, Naomi Osaka was knocked out by the third round by a Czech native who won 6-4 and 6-3 against her. She was the face of the Tokyo Olympics, being the light bearer for the opening ceremony, and was predicted to win the whole of tennis, but she has already been knocked out. So those are the top stories for today. Very, very pressing matters that are surprising to a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think that was both shocking for the Americans and also shocking for the Japanese. So the thing is, so who do we have leading in the medal count right now? What are we looking at?
Medal count, we have the United States. Good job, us. We have 22 medals in total, 9 golds, 5 silvers, and 3 bronzes. And those sports includes swimming with 3 golds, shooting with 3 golds, fencing with 1 gold, surfing 1, and taekwondo. And leading that up is China with 21 medals, 9 golds, 5 silvers, 7 bronzes, and Japan with 9 golds, 3 silvers, and 5 bronzes, making that a total 17 medals for them. And coming in 4th and 5th are the Russian Olympic team and the Great Britain.
Okay, and the Russian Olympic team is called the ROC, right?
ROC, yes.
And what's the backstory on that? Why are they the ROC?
I think we all know what happened last year with that whole, or last Olympics, with that whole scandal about the nationwide doping that happened in Russia, and how the whole country itself was put on a ban due to basically state-run drug dealing to all of its athletes to make them better. So the Olympic Committee took action. Some say that it wasn't the proper action and it wasn't strict enough, but took action and banned people from using Russia's namesake in the Olympics. But Russian athletes can still compete under the Russian Olympic Committee flag, and that's what they're doing. And to be honest, just because they cannot use Russia's full name doesn't mean that they're not pulling the medals, because right now they're 4th in medal count and they're doing great in their respective sports.
Yeah, I saw them in gymnastics the other day, and they were quite good. Let's put it this way. So is Russia going to make a comeback anytime soon, or are they going to fly under the Russian flag anytime soon? You know?
I mean, that technically is under the the jurisdiction of the Olympic Committee. I do believe that the Russian flag will be back in the next Olympics if there's no more scandals under their belt. But yes, the ROC is doing well, even though they are competing under that namesake and not their true Russian flag. I think we all still know who they are, and what they are about, and what they represent. And they're definitely showing it out on the field, the court, the mat, or wherever they're competing.
Mm-hmm. So what do we have scheduled for today? Do we have any must-watch TV if Naomi Osaka lost? I guess no reason to watch tennis anymore, right?
Obviously, we have some games, like right now for volleyball, my favorite sport. It's set 4 with Brazil and the Dominican Republic in the women's round, with Brazil leading 2-1 against the Dominican. The United States had an upset, not really an upset, but an upset against the number 2 seed China. China's been doing very poorly in volleyball. They also lost to Turkey, and even though they're the number 2 seed. And then going on to our favorite sport, basketball. Women's group, Nigeria lost to the U.S. unfortunately, in 81-72 in the women's. And Puerto Rico also lost to China 49-24 in the women's group. In the men's group, the United States is facing off against Iran tomorrow at 12:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we also have a game between France and the Czech Republic. And then, those are the games to watch. And also today at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Nigeria versus Germany, which would be a good game to watch. And I hope Nigeria wins.
Wow. Is that the basketball team, Nigerian basketball team?
Yes, sir.
The one that beat the United States.
The one that beat the United States.
Right. So the thing is, they're actually going to be playing Germany. That should be a game to watch now,
Exactly.
since they demonstrated their abilities on the court to beat the U.S.
Exactly. And some featured events that I would be featuring the USA team that I would be watching are the artistic gymnastics, even though Simone Biles will not be competing. Women's do very well our USA women's do very well in the fight. And right now, with the final, they're in 4th place. Hopefully they shoot up in the record to get a medal. And then there's a 100-meter breaststroke, which was won by El Jacobi yesterday in swimming. But there's also some 100 meters happening today, which we will be watching. The new sport, surfing. There's a gold medal match today, and USA is going to be competing against South Africa. And then diving, shooting, swimming, obviously basketball and soccer. We will see what happens with those as well.
So they're actually going to have surfing as a sport?
Mm-hmm. And it looks like the U.S. has already won in surfing for women's, with more coming in, going into the gold medal match as she wins against Buitendag from South Africa. So we're doing a good job at surfing.
Yeah. Didn't we have some results the other day in skateboarding? Just tell our audience to update them what was going on in the skateboarding area.
Well, in skateboarding, it looks like Japan is the leading nation when it comes to skateboarding. They had a 13-year-old win, one of the youngest ever athletes to win a medal. Momoji Nishia wins gold for women's in skateboarding, and also Japan won gold for men's in skateboarding as well. And with the U.S. coming in 3rd and Brazil coming in 2nd, and all of them being fairly young, being around 13 through 16 years old is the average when it comes to skateboarding. But it's very entertaining to watch. And Japan is definitely doing its country right, doing its home country right, and bringing that gold medal home.
Okay. Yeah, this just came in on our wire, which I found quite interesting. 160,000 condoms Japan ordered for distribution in the Tokyo Olympic Village. But athletes have been told to wait to use them till they get home. Why would they do that? I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
I don't think the Olympic Village is going to be as rowdy as in the past, especially with all the new COVID rules, the new beds. It's just the kind of tension that's in the air. I feel like this Olympics that's never there for the other Olympics. It's not as leisurely. As soon as you finish your event or as soon as you finish your sport, most athletes are told that they cannot stay in the Olympic Village anymore. They need to go home. But I mean, if the time comes, at least you're protected. So we can thank Japan.
You don't want to produce more Olympic champions at
exactly.
that moment.
That's what I was saying.
I got it. Right. It seems to make sense at that point in time. Well, here's the total amount that they win from the U.S. Olympic Committee. They pay out $37,500 if you get a gold. And it's so hard to get a gold, and $37,500. Maybe we should get our billionaires to donate a little bit more to up that ante a bit. But look, now that you go to the silver medal, which is also difficult to get, they pay out $22,500 if you get a silver medal. Bronze medalists get $15,000. So, I mean, to be 3rd in the world and you only get $15,000. I mean, if you look at this, Ada, don't we have a little problem in equity in sports? Because I watched volleyball, And I really, actually, I like volleyball a lot. I like the beach volleyball and I like the regular volleyball. I just think it's a great sport. Yet the athletes in volleyball, they just basically, and you play for the Duke volleyball team. Is there a future in volleyball afterwards? I don't see professional leagues on ESPN. They don't seem to promote it in the newspapers. It's almost like volleyball takes a second seat. Yet it's actually a very exciting sport to watch. So is there a future in volleyball, or you're at Duke University? Is your future at Duke? How does that work? Talk to me about that.
Well, it's actually very frustrating because volleyball is such an exciting game. It is such an awesome game, and it's such a high tempo game that is. And most people, when they watch it, they're like, "Wow, why isn't this more popular? It's so good." But there are professional leagues, mainly centered in Europe and Asia. There's one professional league that is starting in the U.S., but like as you said, there's no media coverage. No one knows about it. Even the professional leagues internationally are like, we don't. When it comes to monetary value, like in comparison to the other professional leagues, it's chump change, and so it's sad. It's sad because we have players putting literally their whole life on the line, getting injured, putting their all out there, putting 100% to leave on the court, and not getting really funded for their dreams and their passions. So.
What about beach volleyball in the United States? Is there a professional league for beach volleyballers?
Yes, there's a professional league for beach volleyballers, and it's more, I would say beach volleyball is more revenue because it's an individualized sport more than not individual, but I mean, there's only two of you guys on the team, and a lot of the beach tournaments are sponsored. So like, unlike like indoor volleyball where you have like teams and clubs and all of that, you can literally just have the two of you guys going to a tournament, playing for the tournament prize, and you can do that over and over and over again. Beach volleyball is not really my forte, so you might have to ask somebody else about the inner workings of that, but I do think you can get a little bit more revenue when it comes to beach. But even so, beach is a little bit more grueling than indoor as well, but depending on who you ask.
Well, talk to me about the top volleyball teams, not beach volleyball teams, the top volleyball teams in the world.
Well, we have the top volleyball teams by country. Definitely in the Olympics, it's definitely US, it's definitely China, it's definitely places like Brazil. We do have Tunisia and Turkey coming in very hot, but they are both Tunisia and Turkey are topped by Italy. Italy is very good, and then we also have Japan in there as well. And then all of these teams, and obviously Russia, obviously, and all of these teams do have their respective professional teams, and a lot of the USA girls actually play internationally for these prospective teams. For instance, a good friend of my mother's, actually, our moms are really good friends. Folupe Arakindewo, she's the middle for the USA team. She plays for Japan, and not Japanese, the country, but a club in Japan, or an affiliation in Japan, and she does great. A few of my friends that I play with play for the Swiss team, play for the Serbians, play for the Italian club teams, which are not representatives of the state, but are representatives of their certain area, and so anybody from around the world can come play for them. So it is.
How about our women's volleyball team? How do the USA stack up in women's volleyball? Your area.
Well, I mean, club wise, we are just getting our feet wet when it comes to becoming an international contender when it comes to not the Olympics, like regular season. But when it comes to the Olympics, the USA is always in the top spot, number one, and if not number two, usually battling it out with countries like Italy and China. And all the girls of the US are amazing, amazing, amazing players that come from amazing schools usually. And to be honest, I've been playing the game for upwards of 10 decades, so 10 to 20 years, so they know the game inside and out.
Wow. Okay. So now we're going to switch a little bit to the basketball teams. Okay. So we're going to get out of volleyball, but it's good to know that the U.S. actually has a chance at the we actually have a chance at
Oh yeah.
volleyball, so
Oh
we'll
yeah.
pick up some medals there. But what about the basketball teams? Talk to me about who are the top basketball teams in the world. We'll start with the men's, and we know the USA just lost to Nigeria, Australia, France, and now people are seeking blood. So who are the top basketball teams right now?
Well, the top basketball teams, I mean, to be honest, out of season, out of the Olympics, it's obviously the USA. We have the powerhouse of the NBA coming into the play, coming into the forte. But in the Olympics, we have Australia, we have France, we have Japan and Argentina all coming in hot, trying to go for the gold as well. The U.S. lost not only to Nigeria in the preliminaries, but lost to France 83-76, which was also another upset. A lot of these players also coming from the NBA and going back to their home countries, which is crazy in itself, but I mean, proves to be effective. We also have teams like Slovenia with Luka Doncic coming in, another great NBA star coming in, dropping buckets against teams like Argentina. So for the men's, it looks like the U.S.'s reign of tyranny over the basketball in the Olympics is coming to an end very, very shortly.
Okay, so that's the men's basketball team. So let's talk about the women's basketball teams.
Mhm.
Who are the favorites right now in the women's basketball team?
Well, the favorites right now are obviously the U.S. with characters like Sue Bird and other players who are just have years of experiences, but also upwards amount of talent. They won against Nigeria today, actually this morning, 81-72. And then we also have teams like Belgium who beat Australia 85-70, and France who beat or Japan who beat France 74-70. So we're looking to teams like US, Japan, and Belgium. But also talking about basketball and women's basketball, we have to shout out definitely the USA 3x3 basketball team who remains undefeated and is looking to get the gold as they stay unbeaten to clinch that top seed. So we're very impressed by them. And 3x3 being a new sport added into the Olympics that everyone is not just calling street ball by the looks of it. So very good ups to the U.S. on that.
Yeah, but street ball's fun. So the thing is,
Ball's fun.
what's wrong with 3-on-3? I mean, that's yeah, you do play that a lot. Okay, so let's move over to a very exciting topic that you mentioned today, and it deals with Simone Biles basically being out of the Olympics, or at least in the individual competition. Talk to us about the gymnastic teams. Who are the favorites in gymnastics in the world right now? What are we looking at?
I mean, for gymnastics, we have definitely Russia coming in as a top contender, the Russian Olympic Committee, Japan, and China all being top contenders along with the U.S. And now that Simone Biles is out of the team finals, this can give a chance to these other teams to make their mark essentially and see what they can do to clinch that gold in the team finals. And the women's artistic team all around, we have the U.S. currently, which is live currently, leading in that final. They were fourth at one point earlier during this talk show, but now they are leading in this team all around without Simone Biles. So this is very good news for us. And yesterday, in the men's artistic all-around finals, the gold was given to the Russian Olympic team as they clinched that spot. So, as we see, it's a back and forth between both Russia, Japan, China, and the U.S. as we see who gets the gold and who's going to clinch the gold for today and the following events. So.
Okay, and what about men's gymnastics? What are your thoughts on the men's gymnastic? I watched them the other day, and they look good, but then the Russians looked better. What are your thoughts on men's gymnastics?
I mean, the Russians are just killing it when it comes to the men's gymnastics, be that balance beam, be that the uneven bars, be that floor. They are just killing it and showing their stuff, showing that they don't need their country's flag to represent their country at all. And Russia's always been a top contender, especially when it comes to men's gymnastics, artistic all-around team. And so they're doing great. And in that all-around team, Japan came in second and China came in third, with U.S. becoming a close fourth. But there's no medal for fourth place, is there?
Yeah, I did notice that if you get in fourth, it's like you get back to go tell your grandkids, well, I was fourth in the Olympics. Did you get a medal? No, I got a participation trophy.
Money? You getting money? No.
You get any money? No, I got a participation trophy. Did you? No medals? No, 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 no. I mean, fourth place is it seems to be pretty horrible. But anyway, that's is the way it is. So we're going to switch over and jump in the water for a minute, and let's go look at the swimming teams. Who are the good swimming teams that are out there right now?
I mean, once again, the U.S., we are leading with 12 medals total in the swimming category, with 3 golds, 3 silvers, and 6 bronzes. Leading a close second is Australia, with also 3 golds, 1 silver, and 3 bronzes, totaling at 7. And then we also have Great Britain coming in third with a total of 3 medals in total, 2 golds, and 1 silver. And we have Lydia Jacoby, a 17-year-old Alaskan, winning the 100-meter butterfly stunning the reigning Olympic champ and stunning herself, to be honest. And her reaction was amazing. But she's doing great. And then we have proteges of Michael Phelps doing great as well, winning gold for the men's. And Katie Ledecky beating her record when it comes to the backstroke, and doing great by that. In the men's category, though, we do have a toss-up with Russia actually beating the U.S. in the 100-meter breaststroke for men's, and in the 100-meter backstroke, the gold actually going to Australia, McKeown. So it's looking great for the U.S., but there's also some top contenders from other countries as well.
Yeah, I saw Katie Ledecky the other day. Last night I was able to get in just a couple minutes of the Olympic. I was booked with appointments all day, and she just blitzed out way in front. Nobody even close. I mean, it was kind of like beast mode for Ledecky. I was pretty impressed. So I thought our swimming team has some chances to pull down medals. But in the overall medal count, who's winning in the medals? Who's getting most gold?
I mean, the most gold is us. We are actually neck and neck with gold for us in Australia, and those events include the what's it called? The backstroke, the 100-meter backstroke, 100-meter freestyle, 200-meter freestyle, which is what Katie Ledecky won in last time, and then we have Australia. We have Australia winning in that 100-meter backstroke, which was great for them. Not so great for us, but great for them. And then Great Britain winning in the men's backstroke. So, yeah, or the men's 200-meter freestyle. So,
okay,
but we're leading.
And then the thing is, there's some other sports. Some of them are new, and you were talking just earlier about some of the new sports that are going to be coming on deck. Talk to us a little about what's new on the Olympics right now.
Yeah, the new in the Olympics, we already touched on a little bit of surfing. We already touched on skateboarding, 3x3 basketball, which is new. We have some not new, but some field hockey and some rugby, which is U.S. actually beat Ireland yesterday, which was surprising to most, considering that rugby is not a very popular sport in the United States. But my guess is that these rugby players are great. They're representing their country. Maybe a few of them played football in the past, but that's not an Olympic sport. Rugby is. So get with the program. Obviously handball, judo, which is events that are having medals today. But we already touched on skateboarding and surfing, and those are the new sports that are trying to put in more youth and more engagement by youth into the Olympics. And I think they are, especially sports like skateboarding, where you have 13-year-olds winning the gold. So it's very nice to see that that going on.
Yeah, and you made something pretty interesting comment dealing with the USA beating, they beat Ireland in rugby. And rugby is very much a lot like USA basketball. I mean, football, not basketball. Definitely not like basketball.
Not like basketball.
More like football. Do we ever see NFL players move over and start saying, hey, because I don't think football is going to become a Olympic sport. Do we ever see, USA football players saying, hey, let me give it a shot at rugby?
I they would be it would be amazing if they did do that. I not in recent memory do I seen a USA football player say, I'm gonna play exclusively rugby in the in the Olympics, because many of these seasoned rugby players from the US know the game inside and out, and would honestly I think be disrespected if a football player just came into their field thinking that they could play the game, thinking that there's no difference in between the two when there's a multitude of differences. But the USA team is doing great. Unfortunately, they did lose this morning, even though they had a great win against Ireland. They did lose this morning, 26-21 to Great Britain in the quarterfinal. So that was very sad. And they did lose to South Africa yesterday, 17-12. So we are seeing what the USA can do more if we're still in pool play. So to be determined about which teams will go forward and get the gold for rugby in
Yeah,
the Olympics.
yeah. To me, that's pretty sad because I would like to see, just curiosity, to see some of the big, fast, strong NFL players playing rugby, because you know
Yeah.
how fast they are. I mean, unbelievably fast, and it does make a difference. Although the sport is totally different, so they would need to ramp up and learn, but there may be some crossover because that speed is just amazing, which you see in the NFL, which even when you see the difference between college and the NFL, the speed is just so much greater. And I want to see if it would be able to translate on a rugby field.
Yeah.
That's all for the U.S.
Excited to see the women's play rugby. We have tomorrow with pool play, with the United States facing China at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, France facing Fiji 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Canada versus Brazil at 8:30, and Australia versus Japan. So all those teams, best of luck. Obviously, best of luck to the U.S. as they face against China. And I love seeing the women's go against the grain for rugby as well. So
Wow.
excited to see those matches.
Yeah. So what do we have scheduled for today? What are we going to look at today?
Well, we have some medal events today, being that in canoeing and kayaking, in cycling, in diving, equestrian, fencing, gymnastics, judo, rowing, shooting, softball, which is an amazing sport to watch, and the U.S. is leading in when it comes to softball, swimming, taekwondo, triathlon. And considering the triathlon as well, yesterday Bermuda got its first gold ever with their triathlon athletes. So big ups to Bermuda. Great job to them. And we also have a medal match for weightlifting. Considering the US specifically today, we have a lot of things going on. A lot of things that already went on, with the draw with the women's soccer against Australia, a live between Japan and the U.S. actually going live right now. Japan is leading 2-0 against the U.S. when it comes to softball, but we will see at the end of that game. And then we also have U.S. winning against Poland 33-26 for in fencing. So we will see what is in store for us today.
Okay. Do we ever see this? We'll have to put our research because Bermuda winning in gold, I think, is pretty cool. I've been to Bermuda, and it's just a great little country. Unfortunately, it's a little island in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. How it got there, no one ever knows. But winning its first gold, I think, is great for that country. But there are several other countries that we actually broadcast in. One is Liechtenstein, and the other is Mauritius. Now, both those countries, we have to go check to see if they have anybody, because I can tell you they're pretty small countries. And the Prime Minister of Mauritius has been on our show before, and the Prince of Liechtenstein have been on our show before. So we've had both of them on the IBM TV network. Very, very nice people. Prince Michael actually is a Prince of Liechtenstein, and they own one of the largest banks in the world. And he's one of the wealthiest royals in Europe, wealthier than the Queen. The former Prime Minister of Mauritius is a lady, Okay, and Mauritius is something that you got to find by going on a map, looking to Madagascar, looking a little further south, and then you find this group of islands called Mauritius. But I'm wondering, not everybody sends teams to the Olympics. I'm wondering if anybody from those people were able to find any from there.
Well, unfortunately, Liechtenstein is not in this Olympics. I don't see them at all competing in this Olympics. But Mauritius is making a very significant dent. We have
Whoa,
them coming in fourth in the men's 100-meter freestyle. We have
whoa!
winning first rounds men's welterweight in boxing yesterday. Today we have Mauritius facing against Japan in men's 90 kilo round of 32 judo. Unfortunately, they lost against Brazil yesterday in badminton in the men's singles. Women's breaststroke 100-meter, we have Mauritius coming in 7th place. And for weightlifting for women's 49 kilos, we have Mauritius coming in at 5th place.
Wow.
And also winning in the men's lightweight boxing against Turkey. We have them coming in 4-1 against Turkey, and unfortunately again losing against Japan for badminton. And then we have them scheduled for men's welterweight, Mauritius versus Ireland. And again, Mauritius won against Canada for welterweight a few days ago, July 24th. So they're doing great in boxing, and they're top contenders when it comes to swimming and badminton, and weightlifting. So
Wow.
they are making a dent.
That's pretty good because their country isn't that big. They only have maybe 37,000 people. So it's just like Liechtenstein. These countries are not huge, but to make a dent like that in the Olympics is very impressive from Mauritius. So maybe we can get the prime minister. I have to go to Ben, who runs our show, Swiss Impact, to get the Prime Minister of Mauritius on after the Olympics is on, because I think they have a great result. You know, if they're able to do that much with that few amount of people, I think that's pretty impressive. So, well, anyway, we're going to be looking forward to that. I noticed that Tonga actually sent some representatives, but like I said, not all countries actually do go to the Olympics because they need a lot of people to be able to compete. It's a pretty difficult thing to do. Also, we're looking forward to, we may be having some Olympic champions on this show. We're in conversations with them right now. When you're in conversations with them, they're coming late to the party. We're going to see if they're going to be able to join in our later programming. But right now, we're going to tell everybody goodbye. We're going to see you all tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have some more people on. And thank you for watching the Olympic show on the IBM TV network. And tomorrow, hopefully, there's going to be some new news. If you haven't got the news, stay with us for about 30 minutes, and you'll be updated on the Olympics. Thank you, Ada. Did a great job again, and we'll see you all tomorrow.